Hey guys, this is your host Eric. Today we are going to watch action genre movie called Super Bodyguard. Spoilers ahead, turn on your subtitle, I greatly appreciate your support. Enjoy the video. Woo-Lin is doing splits in the middle of the street to show off his skills. Unexpectedly, a little boy came up to him and started making fun of him while holding an ice cream and making funny faces. The boy also pees in front of him and brings Woo-Lin's ice cream close to his mouth later. Out of the blue, a group of bad guys show up and chase away the town's richest businessman, Mr. Lee. During all the commotion, the thugs pushed the little boy to the ground and stepped on his ice. Because of this, the little boy starts to cry, and Woo-Lin gets up from his split position. The thugs follow Mr. Lee to a place that looks like a warehouse and ask him to help them. Woo-Lin walks by them at the same time and asks who stepped on the boy's ice cream. When the thugs don't work together, a fierce fight breaks out. Lin's knowledge of Kung is shown to be very good, and fights more than 15 bad guys by himself. With his beautiful flying kicks and punches, he beats the bad guys one by one. And when the fight is over, he is the only one left. Mr. Lee thanks him for saving his life and gives him a huge amount of money as a reward. Mr. Lin, however, won't take the money and walks away. Later, Woo-Lin goes up to the little boy, who teases him again by saying that he, too, can do splits. There are many black cars that belong to the mafia all around him. He is approached by the leader of the mafia group, who turns out to be young Lee, Woo-Lin's childhood friend. It turns out that Woo-Lin is in town looking for his son Lee. In the next scene, Woo-Lin and Jay Lee are drinking beers in a bar. Jay Lee asks Woo-Lin about their old master, who taught them kung fu when they were young. He says that the master kicked him out while they were learning the 108 iron kicks with the help of the iron feet. When Jay Lee asks where their master is, Woo-Lin pulls out his cremation ashes to show that he is no longer there. He does this because he knows that his master is dead. Young Lee sobs as she holds the ashes. Later, when Lin is doing push-ups to practice his kung fu, young Lee remembers that the master left him because he stole the iron boots. In another place, Mr. Fu, the leader of the mafia gang, kills his own man because he betrayed him. Then young Lee invites Woo-Lin to his training center, where they train people who might become bodyguards. Mr. Lee shows up there at the same time he is looking for a bodyguard for his daughter. He asks Young Lee to show him his best bodyguards. When he saw Lin there, though, he told Young Lee that he wanted Lin to be the bodyguard. Soon after, Young Lee talks to Lin and finally gets him to agree to be the body of Lee's daughter. Mr. Lee asks Woo-Lin to promise him that he will protect his daughter Faye no matter what. Later, they go to a nightclub where some thugs are being unfair to Faye. Lucky for them, Mr. Lee sees his daughter being taken by force by a thug and grabs her. Woo-Lin then fights with the thugs, and when they go back home, Faye comes out of the shower and sees what's going on. Woo-Lin was doing splits inside the house, seeing the strange thing happen. When she finds out that Lin is her bodyguard, she screams out loud. She gives him twice as much money to go away. But Lin's morals won't let him be bought off, so he politely declines. Later, Faye takes Woo-Lin to a shopping mall, where she sees a perverted boy mistreating a girl. Faye walks up to the boy, gives him a slap, and says that Woo-Lin told him to do it. But when the boy asks Woo-Lin about Faye, he says he doesn't know her. Angry, the boys start to follow Faye around the mall. Woo-Lin also teases Faye until she says she's sorry for what she did. He then picks on the group of boys and tries to get them to leave. At night, we see a group of bad guys coming up to Faye's house to take her away. They quickly turn around when they see threads all over the house that lead to a bell that will tell Woo-Lin what's going on. Woo-Lin and Faye go to a fancy re the next day if anyone is around. As Faye eats, she is happy. Woo-Lin is on watch and looking over everything. Soon, he starts to watch how the waitress moves and comes to the conclusion that something is wrong. He then takes Faye away, but a group of bad guys attack him soon after. Faye is taken away by the people he saw in the restaurant while he was fighting. After Woo-Lin beats all the bad guys, he follows the van around the city. After a long chase, Woo-Lin finally catches up to the van and gets in through the wind. He then grabs Faye's hand and runs away from the group at home. Faye seems to be impressed by Lin's abilities and his ability to be aware of his surroundings. Woo-Lin asks Faye why her dad has so many enemies and why they want to take her away. Faye can't say anything because she doesn't know what's going on. But she tells him that she has always had a bodyguard to protect her. She then goes to a room, where she looks at pictures of herself and cries. In the next scene, Young Lee talks to Mr. F's assistant, who tells him that Mr. F treats him like a son, and he doesn't want to let the master down. Young Lee is then told to catch Mr. Lee and Faye on his own. In the next scene, Woo-Lin is practicing his 108 iron feet kicks and other kung fu moves that he learned from his master. During practice, he thinks back to the time when he and Young Lee practiced with the master. He is practicing with so much focus that he can use a metal ring to identify the person who attacked him in the van. He comes to the conclusion that the man is one of Jay's men that he met at the beginning of the movie. The next day, Woolen meets Young Lee at an old steel factory that has been closed down. When the latter tells him to stop protecting Faye, he tells Woolen that he will soon turn the steel factory into a bodyguard training center where he can teach his students the secrets of Iron Feet. But Woolen doesn't want to do what he says and asks for an explanation. Instead, Young Lee gets angry when he hears this. He challenges Woolen to a one-on-one fight and urges him to accept skills by using his Iron Feet. Woolen finally beats John Lee after a long battle. Young Lee, who is angry, rips off a piece of his shirt and says that he and Woolen are no longer brothers. After that, Woolen reaches out to Faye and takes her out of town. When she asks what's going on, he tells her that she's in danger and that a powerful group of mafia are after her. He then tells them to hide until her father slowly finds them. While they are hiding from the mafia, they spend time together and become closer. Woolen shows Faye some kung fu, and Faye shows Woolen how to drive. Lin tells Faye that each of his boots weighs 25 kilograms and that he has been practicing 108 kicks for the past 8 years. Young Lee, on the other hand, remembers how Mr. Fu helped him when he was homeless and eating food out of trash cans. Later, Mr. Lee is brought before Mr. Fu, which shows that Young Lee was able to catch him. Here, it comes as a surprise to find out that Mr. Lee works for Mr. Fu. Moreover, Mr. Fu is the one who actually killed his wife. Then, Mr. Fu tells Young Lee to look for Faye. Soon after that, Young Lee fights some of his men and easily wins. He then comes to the conclusion that his men are still not ready to fight Woolen and suggests that they use chains to face each other. Woolen, later that night, Young Lee's men get to where Faye is and start looking for her. Woolen has already felt the presence of the mafia, so he and Faye run away from the house before they can find out. Unfortunately, one of Jay's men sees them running into the woods, and the rest of the crew follows them after a while. Young Lee's men attack Woolen, and Faye is taken away from him by force, but he quickly beats the men who were in his way. And then he followed the crew into a warehouse. Woolen steps into a shackle and gets his legs stuck in it. All of a sudden, some of Young Lee's best men attack him. Woolen fights with them and keeps his head held high, even though it was unfair because there were 5 men against 1. He does better than the fighters until the chains make it hard to fight. Soon, a big fighter grabs him and throws him around. The fighter also gets both of his legs cut, which makes it hard for him to even walk. Even though Woolen beat 2 of the 5 people who were fighting him, he gets upset when he sees Faye tied to a rope. With the help of the chains, the big fighter grabs Woolen, throws him to a car, and wins. The group then takes Woolen to the woods, whereas Young Lee gives him one last punch. Jay Lee and his men then bury Woolen alive that night. Rain keeps falling, turning the pit into a puddle. Woolen crawls out of the pit at that moment, showing that he is still alive. He goes straight to Faye's house and takes off his special iron shoes. Then he changes his look and goes straight to John Lee's training center before he gets there. About 100 of the fighters are already there waiting for him. Even though Woolen is alone, he runs towards them and flies by himself. As soon as he took off his metal shoes, his kicks got faster and stronger. He now has amazing footwork and speed. All of their legs are broken. Later, he makes all of the fighters go into the arena and fight, where he beats each of them one by one. After that, Woolen goes back to the headquarters and finds the group that beat him before. This time, Woolen beats the best fighters with a single kick that makes their mouths bleed. He then goes deeper into the headquarters and finds Mr. Lee and Faye locked up in a cell. Here, it is shown who is in charge of the mafia. Mr. Fu is actually Woolen's father. The scene then goes back in time to show that Mr. Fu and Mr. Lee were actually business partners. Only because she was a cop did Mr. Fu kill Mr. Lee's wife. Mr. Fu was told by a fortune teller that his son Woolen has a great future, and anyone who comes close to him will die. Mr. Fu decided to kill Woolen by throwing him down from a very high place because he believed the fortune teller. At the moment, Young Lee decides to fight with Woolen so he can learn the 108 iron kicks. Both of them seem to have the same skills until Woolen kicks right into his Young Lee's ribs and breaks them, leaving an injured Woolen. Tries to get up, but F's helper shoots him. Seeing, Woolen runs toward the assistant, but he is shot in the left side of his chest. He lives because his heart is in the right place. Then, after beating the assistant, he goes to Mr. Fu to kill him. He does everything he can to attack Mr. Fu, but he can't work up the courage to kill his own father. After a few months, it was clear that Mr. Lee had died because his cancer had reached its 4th stage. At the end of the movie, Woolen spreads his master's ashes, and Jay Lee stands on the edge of a cliff. We really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell because it is really important for us. Thank you.